Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Kimcast Art and More. The picture you see behind me is one I painted many years ago. Very large painting at that. In fact, it's 24 by 36. I painted it as a commission for a lady, and she never paid for it. So is the life of an artist, which is why you never agree to paint something, especially that much money, without getting money up front. But it was for someone that I knew and thought I trusted and should not have trusted. So it's a good lesson for everybody. No matter how well you know them, get the money up front. How you doing, Ken? How's it going, buddy? How you doing tonight? No, we're not in church. We're not having a religious ceremony. But this guy is keeping an eye on you. I bet it was the last background you ever expected to see. The big boss and his buddies. Hey, Trinity. What do you mean what I was saying? You can't hear me, Ken? Oh, what happens when I was saying about the commission? What happens is I got stuck with the painting, and because the woman never paid me for it. So all the time and money I spent on it was a total loss. Trinity, how you doing, sweetheart? I have the mic in front of me now for a change. See, I just moved it down so it was out of the way. Dang what, Trinity? You saw this painting before. I ended up giving it to my daughter. You doing good? That's great. Glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. No, I just kind of wanted to show it off a little bit, Ken. Since I didn't make any money on it, I figured I might as well at least show it off a little bit. There's not as much detail as I think I'd like to have put into it, but the lady wanted a little bit impressionistic with not 100% detail. So it would be a little bit different than the original. Yeah, I knew you. I figured you remember seeing it. I did that one quite a few years ago. Yes, I did, Ken. Probably about 7 or 8 years ago. It was a very large painting. It was 24 by 36 inches, which is a really big painting. Do you like it, Ken? Yeah, Nancy did have it. Yeah. Until that vicious person broke into her house and smashed everything. Well, thank you, Ken. I'd like to put a little bit more detail in it, but that's not what the person wanted. But, that's the way it goes. It did take me a long time to paint, though. I worked on that painting for about a month. Not 8 hours a day or nothing, but so many hours every day. It just took a lot of planning, Ken, and you just had to stay really focused on something like that because it's even though there wasn't an extreme amount of detail in the people, there's still a lot of detail, like up in the wall, all that wall detail and all that stuff. The shadows had to be in the right places and everything. The feet, making sure there was 5 toes and 5 fingers, and wherever it was obvious. The actual painting is actually a little bit wider than that. It just won't fit in the frame of the picture here. There's actually more to it than that. It's a bit wider on each end and a little bit taller, and the bottom goes down a little bit more on the original. Can you all hear me good here now? Am I too loud or not loud enough or what? I got the mic dead in front of me, so I'm not sure. It should be plenty loud because it's a lot closer to my face. I know Minnie goes to church and everything, so she'll probably like this one. Hopefully. Although I should move out of the way, then you can see the whole thing. Whee! You hear me just fine? That's good. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of people in here tonight. We've been averaging about 7 lately, 7 or 8, which is great because that's a bit of an improvement for sure. But we'll see, So we haven't seen Tracy in a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, so he got to be due to pop in sometime soon. I don't know if Jennifer will be coming on tonight or Nancy. I don't know. No idea. They have a mind of their own. Even when I see them, of course, they never tell me, and I don't want to pester them by asking them all the time. Once in a while, I'll ask about it and hint to it, but I don't want to drive them nuts about it either. I had some coffee out here, but I had a couple cups, 2 or 3 cups, and for some reason, I drank coffee a lot of the times, a lot today, and I started feeling really dehydrated. So I decided to get rid of the coffee and get something that would maybe stop me from being so dehydrated. No, I went and dumped it out and brought out some Tang. It's in an orange soda bottle, but that's what it is Tang. Orange drink Tang. I wanted something cold and wet. I just actually got tired of the coffee, which is rare. But I did, mostly because I was just so thirsty, dehydrated. My lips were drying out. That usually means you're getting dehydrated. I haven't been drinking a lot of fluids lately, just a lot of coffee. Not much for no soda, no water, nothing like that. So I figured I better put the coffee down for the night, or at least for a while. Trinity, I hear you're getting excited about having Kirsten coming up. When's she supposed to be coming up? Pretty soon, this week or something, or next week? How are you going to deal with Kirsten up there when you're working? I hate water. If I have the flavored water, but I can't afford it right now, I'll drink it. But I flat refuse to drink that plain old bottled water. And the tap water doesn't taste that great either, so I don't. Friday the 17th. Well, at least it's not Friday the 13th. So Ken, are you here? Are you paying attention, Ken? Pay attention. I have something else I wanted to show you. Are you paying attention? Wake up. No sleeping. I don't want you falling asleep on me, Ken. I'm just picking on you, buddy. Are you alert? Maybe he did fall asleep. Oh, he is? Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, there must be a couple people in here actually, or at least one more. Yeah, because I have my wife logged in too. So, although I may log her out because it's buffering pretty bad. Maybe EST coming in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. It all helps. Yeah, I'll take my wife out, get off the internet on the phone here. That might help keep it from buffering and lagging and all that crap. There we go. Download speed is still a bit low tonight. I'm going to check it again. I checked it earlier. It was 0.39 down, but the upload was actually higher. It was like 0.66, which is still unusual. It's been backwards lately. Usually the download is always faster than the upload. Lately it's been the opposite. And the fourth person left out was Brendan Francis, yeah. Still down there. It's 0.36 download. Upload is keeps going right up there, which is good because you guys actually get what I'm saying a lot faster than what I see you guys type, which is probably okay. 0.80 upload. Amazing. I mean, that's pretty good for our stream for the upload to be that high. If I get the download up higher, then it would be great. It'd be a lot better. I guess Recon is running really late tonight. So Trinity, I guess you're nice and excited for Kirsten to come up, huh? You'll have some family up there with you. Yeah, I'm assuming you got some kind of a game machine there because that's what she's addicted to is playing games. Although, as long as she's got a phone to play with, she's usually fairly content. But I'm assuming you probably have a Wii or Xbox or something there. Ken, did Recon say he was going to be late tonight? Or that he was working tonight late or something? Or I don't remember. I know he said he does fill in some of the other shifts, but I don't remember him mentioning tonight specifically. Well, we miss you too. I saw a picture of Sierra on Facebook today. Is she gaining weight? I know she was pretty skinny when she was here the last time, but the picture I saw, I don't know if it was an older picture or if it was something recent, but it looked like she was gaining some weight. Oh, you have a PS4 and a Nintendo Switch. Yeah, that'll keep her busy. You don't remember either, Ken? Ken, you're way younger than me. Your memory's supposed to be better than mine. I have the best excuse. I'm old. Now we're showing down to 2. Someone else here, and we didn't. They never said nothing. Excuse me. Well, I got the hiccups. She hasn't gained any that you know of? Okay. I must have been looking at an old picture or something. I thought it was something that was recent that I saw. Because she had the baby with her. Acacia. I got it. 43 is young. I wish I was 43 again. Now, I got to admit, Ken, when I was 43, I don't know. I still felt like I was getting over the hill. So I guess technically you're at middle age now. Middle age is kind of a really kind of a strange term because middle age only applies to whatever you actually live to. So I mean, if you only live to 60, middle age was 30. So if you're 43 If you live to 86, you're at middle age. Hopefully you'll live that long. Heck, I wish I was 18 again. It probably was no picture then. Actually, I wish I was at least probably 19, not 18. I'd have made some different choices back around that time. But the choices I made probably would have affected everybody. In fact, Trinity wouldn't be here if I was 19 again, because I probably would have made some choices that wouldn't have allowed me to have the same children. Because I may not have met my wife, and probably wouldn't have, because I might have, if I knew what I knew now, I probably would have made a career out of the Navy, and I probably never would have met her. And Trinity wouldn't be here. Sorry, honey. Everything happens for a reason. There's ASD. Well, I wish you weren't feeling under the weather either, ASD. Nobody ever wants to feel under the weather. I was showing off one of my paintings here to Ken, ASD. I did this painting about, I don't know, 7 years ago for a lady, and she never paid me for it. Of course, as you can see, it's the Last Supper. It was huge. It was like 24 by 36. But then again, Trina, you'd miss out on my genius. I don't blame you, ASD. I like to take a nap in the afternoon too. I took a really short one today, but because Jennifer was here with the baby, so I didn't really nap very well. Recon's not here. He's late. Yeah, we've been kind of watching for him, ASD, but he hasn't showed up yet. I couldn't remember. Ken and I were just talking about that, whether he said last night that he was going to be late tonight, or maybe not even come tonight because of having to work part of another shift. He does sometimes. I don't remember if he said something about tonight or not, though. Ken didn't remember either. I didn't think that he did, but who knows? I've been wrong before. Unfortunately, we don't have the number of people we normally have. We've been having 7 or 8 people. Beer, 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 money, money. He's probably out for pizza, 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 or Taco Bell. That's probably exactly where Recon is. Or he's having to cook dinner for his kids, the little one. Who knows? You're making pizza? So anyway, the Last Supper here, I painted for a woman, and she never picked it up. So I kind of took on that deal. I lost a lot of money on it. And the other picture I'll show you when you get back. Trinity, I assume you got your pictures hanging on the wall that you got the last time you were here. Which brings up my next question. Does anybody ever see them and say anything about them? Or do you not ever have company? You do? Well, that's good. Made your boyfriend hang them up, huh? Well, I hope if you get people that see them, I hope they have comments about them. Oh, a lot of people don't even notice pictures in somebody's houses. I understand that. Well, good. Well, tell them to join my channel and subscribe. Tell them your grandfather is a desperate artist and he's almost destitute and he needs all the help he can get. You have told him that? Oh, there's Recon. He finally showed up. Too busy to chat, but you're listening. I even put the picture I painted for a woman up just so you could see it, Recon, of the Last Supper. I painted this about 7 years ago. It's 24 by 36, huge, and the woman never paid me. Okay, Trinity, no problem, sweetheart. It was good seeing you anyway. We'll see you later. Take care. Sleep nice and stay healthy and safe and keep your excitement up for Trinity coming up. That'll make you feel better. Good night. Well, Ken, I think people have the wrong idea of speed painting. What you see as speed painting is mostly somebody painting at a normal pace and they speed it up when they do the editor. I mean, I could take any of my paintings and speed them up when I do an art lesson. And that's basically what they do. They speed it up that way. Now, of course, when I'm not teaching a lesson to people online here and having to worry about doing the commentary and all that stuff, well, yes, I can paint a lot faster because I don't have to think about the camera angles, making sure people see what colors I have and telling them what I'm doing. I can just keep painting. And I've painted for so long, things I do painting wise, if I'm not having to do all that and I can concentrate just on the painting, well, of course I can go faster because I do it out of habit. I already know how to do a lot of things that I'm painting, so I don't have to explain it. I just do it. But speed painting, people see a lot of times is where they've taken a painting they're doing online, and they actually in the editor they can speed it up. They can make it 2 or 3 times as fast by just clicking a button and then recording it that way, just putting it up as a speed painting. Well, yeah, there are some people that can paint extremely fast, but that really is most of the time you find that that's a picture they painted dozens of times. So they don't even have to think about it. They can paint it really fast. But no, I don't bother with that. I don't bother with speed painting. There's no point right to it, really. And a lot of times the speed painting doesn't have a lot of detail. People think there maybe is, but there's not really that much detail. I mean, there's always that exception that somebody that can actually do more detail. But like I said, it's normally a painting they've done over and over and over and over and over again. It's like drawing. I used to draw an Indian chief with a side profile. My grandfather taught me how to draw him when I was a child. I drew that same Indian so many times I could draw it like that, just really fast, because I did it so many times. I know exactly how to do the forehead, the nose, the everything, the lips, everything, the hairdress. I didn't have to think about it. I could do that Indian picture in a minute or so. When I first started doing it, it probably took me 10 or 15 minutes or more. But once I did it a dozen times or more, of course, you can do it a lot faster. It's like I said with painting, it's practice. If you paint something enough times and practice enough times, you become very proficient doing it. It's like playing an instrument. You played an instrument before. Your mind works with your fingers to learn chords, or on a horn, certain notes on a horn, reading music, whatever. Your mind figures that all out and knows exactly what it's doing without you really even thinking about it. You read the notes and you know what finger to push and where. Same with the guitar. If I see a C or a G, I know exactly where to go. It's the same idea. Touch memory. That's like what it is on a guitar. It's touch memory. Your fingers know exactly where to go. And the same with painting. You automatically, if you painted clouds with different brushes for years and years, whatever one you got, you know what to do without even thinking about it. You don't have to think that much about it. Just wherever you want the clouds, you make clouds. No problem, Recon. I got the guy behind me keeping an eye on you, and he's got all his friends keeping an eye on you too. And he's the big guy. He's got your number, buddy. In fact, now that you mentioned America's Got Talent, Ken, I think I did see some people painting pretty quickly on America's Got Talent. Speed painting, I think, really is more of a. I mean, it's art and everything, but it's really entertainment. It's an entertainment, tricky type of thing, entertainment. And they learn that process super fast. They're racing a clock. It's not that they're interested in really painting something really great, they're just interested in doing it fast. Welcome back, ASD. Get your pizza done? You guys mentioned pizza, and Ken is over there biting at the bit. Now he wants pizza. I mean, pizza's okay. I'm not as fond of it as I used to be. When I was younger, I liked it a lot more than I do now. I can kind of take it or leave it. A lot of times, I'll just soon leave it because I just, for some reason, it doesn't agree with me so much anymore. It's like I used to love onions. I used to make what they called I used to call it a Grampy burger because my father made it that way, and I used to like it. Make a big old hamburger, cheeseburger actually, double cheese, but we also sliced up a crap load of onions, put them in there, and sauteed all them onions with the burger with Worcestershire sauce. We called it a Grampy burger, smothered in onions. Of course, it was dripping grease from the damn onions and whatever. But they were fantastic when I was younger. Some mayonnaise and ketchup on there, man. Loved them. More onions, the better. But nowadays, I've thought about it once or twice, but I know the onions probably won't, they won't give me a backlash probably, but they'll raise some cane with me. Probably. Although I still like onions and I like them sauteed, so I'm liable to do it anyway. It's like eating spicy foods. Some people like me, I know it's not going to settle real well, but I like it enough that it's worth the risk. Nah, you can't make any money like that. I've been to events before. They don't sell very well. Here's the problem with going to events. And I've done this many times. I've tried it, believe me. I've even been to ones that the county actually did. And the problem is they don't have any criteria for who they allow there. So and they put you where they want you. So they got paintings being sold. Well, here's a guy sitting there. He's selling paintings. They're like you can buy at Walmart. They're pre-printed paintings on a canvas, but they're pre-printed. Nobody's really painted them. They're copies. And they sell them for $20 a piece. All day long. I can have a beautiful painting right beside him, the same size, painted by hand by me. And most people, unless they really appreciate art, will point to that guy and they'll go, why should I give you $150 or $200 for that painting when I can go get a painting over there for $19.99 or $20? And I've heard it many, many, many times. So those are not the place to do it. Now, I have friends that are artists that have actually found spots along the side of the road, like down by, let's see, where did he live? He lived down past Williston, and he'd go to Inglis or someplace out of the place way out of the way. There was a lot of boaters and fishermen and stuff like that. And he would set up an easel off the river where there was one of those, the more drive-in, like a drive-through rest area, like. And he'd paint right there. And he did okay, He'd be painting a painting sometimes, and he sold, quite a few. Not making him rich or anything, that's for sure. But he'd sell one a day, maybe once in a while two. Sometimes he'd even pick up a commission from somebody that wanted him to paint a picture of something specific. Or they would go and go home, and when they went home, they'd get a picture of something they wanted him to paint and bring it back to them, and that would be a commission. But no, he didn't do real well, mostly because he was a good artist, But his problem was he didn't know how to price his paintings. And I had that discussion with him many times. And he wasn't willing to wait for someone to pay what he really wanted for him. He just took whatever he could get, which was the worst thing he could do. When you're an artist and you sell paintings, to say you sell mostly a 16 by 20 painting, well, if you start selling them for $30 a piece, nobody's ever going to pay you 100 or 150. When you set that price, you're usually stuck. It's hard to climb back up. So you need to set your price appropriately to begin with. You know, he just wanted to sell them. And frankly, he didn't really make much money because if you figure his time, his gas, what it costed for the canvas and the paint, he didn't make much. Of course they are. The ones you see in the stores, they're all copies of paintings. Those are not real. If you go to Walmart and buy a painting, it looks like it's on canvas. That is a copy. It's not a real painting. Even if it's got a signature on it, it's a copy. If you read the fine print on it, it'll tell you it's a copy. And if you look through the paintings, you'll probably see several of the same paintings. You just now got the pizza in the oven, huh? Walmart and places like that don't sell original paintings, Ken, ever. A lot of people don't know that. They think they're getting an original painting. They're not. They're getting a copy. That's why it's $20. If you can buy a painting for $20, it's a copy. If you want an original painting, I tell you right now, unless it's a really crappy painting and a real crappy artist that just don't care, you're not going to get one for $20. Ever. Unless, of course, it's a friend that's an artist or whatever, and they decide to give you a really good deal on one. Yeah, the ones you get in Walmart or Target or any place like that, those are all copies. There's nothing original about any of them. Now, somebody did paint that picture originally, but it was copied. And then when it got copied, it was put over onto canvas with a machine. And in fact, if you go to my website, you can get a copy of any of my paintings, and it'll look just like the original, but it's been done with a machine, a professional printer. I don't want to know what AST. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You said you put the pizza in the oven and waiting for the oven to heat up. And then you just said, yeah, trust me, you don't want to know. What don't I want to know? I'm confused. Or why are you saying that? Of course, when they copy the paintings for Walmart or Target or anywhere else, they're licensed to do it. They actually buy the rights to make prints and copies to sell. They do buy the rights. The artist does get some money for doing that. Very small percentage, but they do get some. Oh, I see, IST. But it's like my paintings. There's nothing I can do about it. Now, if I put watermarks on them, it makes it harder for them to copy them, but it's still possible. But I know I can tell sometimes when some people go into my ArtPal, When they start blowing up my pictures to large sizes, I know what they're doing. Some of them are very few, unless I see them buy one. Usually, if they're going up to a big size, a lot of times it's, and I look at the location, or in China or Japan or any other, lots of other foreign countries, then I know what's happening. They're screenshotting my paintings and keeping copies of them and making copies of them to sell somewhere else. I've seen it happen before. A copy's worth what you paid for it or less. They're not worth nothing, really. If you pay $20 for a copy, it ain't worth. If somebody's willing to give you $20, take it, because you'll be lucky. You're not going to get any more. They're never going to appreciate, and they'll never gain any value at all. Okay, ASD, I probably don't want to know. But yeah, if you get a copy of something, it's not worth anything. Now, if you get a print, if you get a signed print by an artist that's a numbered print, like I sell my prints or whatever, I personally sign them. And a lot of those are numbered. Like, say I may decide that I'll only do 25 prints, and I'll have a number like 1/25. That's the first print. Next will be 2/25. And all the way up to 25 out of 25. So that way, when I die eventually or whatever, if I ever became famous and you saw, if a collector picked it up, they would know that was a print and that was my signature, and it was only a run of 25 prints. And so there was only 25 of them that were ever made, which would help them value it better. But there would still be a value because it was a print that I did myself. Then it would be more valuable. But yeah, if you want paintings that are going to accumulate value, Ken, you buy originals. You go to a gallery, you find an artist that actually paints his paintings himself that are original. Then you buy one. That's why they cost more, because they're worth more. And later on down the road, they'll be worth more. If you want something that's going to increase in value, you buy something that's original. Or you can buy a print from the artist, which can be a lot cheaper, but it will still retain its value. No problem. No problem. It's like if I do a print of one of my paintings. Well, obviously, my prints are going to be inexpensive. 5x7 I sell for like $10. And I get 8x10 is 20, and then 11x14 is 30 or something like that. But if that same painting, the original, may have sold for $500 or $600, but you can get a print a lot cheaper because you want the picture and you want it from the artist, even though it's still just a copied print. It's still signed, and it still does have some value to it, but you don't have to come up with a bunch of money to pay for the same picture. But it's going to be a lot smaller than probably the original. The original will definitely be worth more. When Bob Ross was alive, his paintings were not worth $10,000. They weren't. He was probably selling them for $100 a piece, $200 a piece, whatever. Now they're worth $10,000. People that bought originals from him before he was on PBS on TV, and the joy of painting, the $100 painting they have now, it's going to be worth $10,000 because of what he did. Okay, if I see him, I'll tell him. I probably won't see him until tomorrow night, if then. It depends if he comes over or not. I know he mentioned something about doing something with you, with Warzone or something, or watching it or something. If it's a signed print, it'll be always be worth more. If it has an original signature. If it's a copied signature, no, it's not going to be worth anything. If I just give you a picture, a print of mine, even with my signature on it, it's not going to be worth as much as if I sign it for you personally. So you always get it signed personally. So say, if you become a member here and I do a drawing and you win a print from me, I am going to sign that print every time. I'm never going to not sign one of mine. When I send it to you, it'll be signed, so it'll always be worth more. And there's a good chance that some of them prints that I would give away will be numbered prints. They may be 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 50 or whatever I decide to sell of them, the number I decide to sell. Even though you're getting it for free, it'll still be worth more money because it'll be signed in person. That's the key, signed in person. Yeah, ASD, he did say something about that to me, but, that was about it. He mentioned it. He seemed to be a little bit excited about it, so I'll try to remember to mention it to him if I see him. Of course, he goes to school, so a lot of times when he gets home, he does his homework and whatever, and he gets on playing videos, and I don't even see him. But if he comes around, I'll definitely try to remember to tell him. I can't swear to it because my memory is horrible, but if I remember, I will tell him. And I see him. A live stream on YouTube of space art. Well, that's good. When you get back, from your vacation. Well, that's good. I was going to do another painting video today, but I didn't get to it. I got doing other things. I've been messing around with OBS a lot, but I've been having trouble with camera switching. And I think it's because I'm using 2 Logitechs, and it's confusing the issue. I literally have to deactivate one before I can switch to the other one. And that shouldn't be that way. And I got a feeling that's what's doing it. Even though I put the 2 cameras in different scenes, it'll change sometimes, but a lot of times it won't change. I have to deactivate the other one and activate the other one, which that makes it totally worthless. So I may try to have to set it up for 3 totally different cameras and then try it with only one Logitech and 2 other cameras that are different brands and that use different drivers. I think it's because it uses the same driver. Logitech driver is the same for both. And OBS gets confused. Yeah. I mean, we've had to board our dog before during like hurricane season. We went to a shelter a couple of times. We had to board Milo. And just for 2 days or 3 days, I think it was 3 days and 2 nights was it was over $100, and he wouldn't even eat. He's so attached to my wife and I that for some reason he wouldn't even eat. He wouldn't drink water, nothing. In fact, the veterinary place got very concerned about him because he wouldn't eat or drink. So luckily, we was only a few days out, and I went and picked him up right off. But as soon as I got him home, he ate and drank plenty of water. Well, one webcam is fine, but using two or three, that's totally different. Well, no, I usually have my paintings are framed already, so um, if they're not framed, it just depends on whether it's a canvas board or not. You can't roll up a canvas board; it has to be in a box. And I usually put styrofoam around it, stuff like that. Put it in plastic, so none of the styrofoam can fall off and stick on the paint or anything like that. But no, I usually box them up and ship them out that way. I don't really transport them very much. Now, if I go to the gallery, I just put them in my car and lay them on the seat very carefully. I don't usually bring more than 2 or 3 paintings anyway, or I'll put them in my trunk. It doesn't hurt them a bit. They're dry anyway. I have shipped a painting in a tube before. I did a painting for a woman up in North Conway, New Hampshire that was 24 by 36, and the shipping would have been way too expensive. So she agreed to bring it to a framing shop, and they would put new, they would restretch the canvas on new wood, and she would pick her own frame. So she got the painting a lot cheaper that way. And it was cheaper for me to send it to her too. So it was cheaper for her because she had to pay the shipping anyway. But it wasn't that big of a deal. Basically, all she did was it was a 24 by 36. She probably bought a 24 by 36 canvas. They took the new canvas off and put my painting on and restapled it, restretched it. Then they put the frame on. Voila, all done. That's why I stuck to a common size so she wouldn't have to worry about having a painting that was off size. Now, if I was sending just a print, I could roll it up and put it in a tube, but I don't because I usually do the matting myself. And you don't want to bend the matting. You don't want that rolled up in a tube. So that can be take some cardboard on both sides, and then you can put it in a manila envelope that's padded. I actually have had a painting stole at a restaurant before. Up in New Hampshire, there was a restaurant, little resort restaurant, which also had a lounge and everything, and they rented like motel rooms and whatever. I loaned them. They were new. People had just bought the place, and they needed some paintings for in the lobby and in the restaurant and the bar. So I let them borrow, I think it was 6 or 7 of my paintings. And after about a month, I think I had a painting with a dock scene there, an old dock scene with some old buildings with a dock and a boat. Somebody stole that painting. And it was actually near the front door, too. And it was like an 11 by 14. Somebody actually stole that painting. But they didn't really have to, but the business actually did pay me for it. But they felt bad. The owners felt bad. And after that one was sold, we actually came to an agreement, and they bought all the other paintings too. I gave them a really good price because I was actually just beginning to paint wet on wet then. I hadn't painted wet on that long, and I think I got like $600 or $700 for the bunch of them that they had. But yeah, somebody did steal one there. Now people have stolen them online by copying them, doing screenshots and stuff like that. They've done that. You can't prevent it. It happens all the time. Excuse me. I used to get really all upset about the fact that I knew people were stealing my paintings online, but now it just doesn't bother me anymore because what will be will be. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no point in getting upset about it. So, Recon, what do you think of my Last Supper painting? I did this one quite a few years ago, and it was actually supposed to be a little bit impressionistic. That's why I didn't get as much detail in the people as I would normally have put in them. It was a commission, the woman never paid me for it. This one was 24 by 36. It's actually, the original is actually wider than that. There's more to it and a little bit higher. Thank you. And now this. Yeah, the Last Supper took me about a month to do. The ship I did probably in just a few days, 3 or 4 days, something like that. The Last Supper, that one was definitely a month. That one had to have been drawn out. You had to get the walls right. You had to get the perspective right. All these little fancy areas on the wall right there. Those are a real bit of a pain in the butt to do and get them lined up right. They're definitely not perfect, that's for sure, but close enough. Close enough. No, Minnie hasn't been in. She'll probably watch the replay anyway, most likely. We had a horrible download speed again tonight. It's actually just now creeping up finally. But anyway, Recon, you're too late. Hour's up. Been over an hour now, so I'm gonna be shutting it down anyway. You slow poke. We'll have to start changing your name to Pokey. Yeah, she'll see the replay, I'm sure. All right, guys, I'm about ready to get out of here myself. I was hoping we'd get another 7 or 8 people tonight, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. But Trinity was here earlier for a little bit. And then she left already too. So, and Yvette didn't show up tonight either, which I was a little surprised. I thought she'd be here tonight too, but she didn't either. So maybe tomorrow night we'll get more people. Hopefully, that would be nice. If I think of it, I might even pester Brad a little bit. Maybe I can get him to come in. I figured as much, Recon. I'm just picking on you, buddy. I know you get busy sometimes. Don't take me serious. Welcome back just in time to say goodbye, ASD. I was just getting ready to shut it down. Yeah. Good night, Ken. Good night, Recon. Both of y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy, guys. I really appreciate you guys, all of you, all 3 of you, for helping me out here and supporting me. I really do. I probably don't tell you that often enough, but I really appreciate it. But you all take care. I'll see you tomorrow night. I don't really know what you were talking about with Norlam colors. I'm not familiar with that term. Every color is a prime color because it takes all the prime colors to make any other colors. You want colors that are done with prime colors? Is that what you want? By mixing 2 or 3 colors together? I would say alizarin crimson, turquoise on the blue side, and Viridin green. I just gave you 3 colors. Turquoise, Viridin green, and alizarin crimson. That's 3 colors. Are you sure you don't mean prime colors? Is that what you're saying by normal, like red, blue, green? If you want 3 normal colors, I would say yellow, red, and blue. That makes a lot of the other colors. Alizarin crimson is actually red and blue. Red with a little bit of blue mixed into it. And turquoise is just red and green, basically. I mean, blue and green. And phthalo blue is just a shade of blue. It's a different shade of blue. But you could always use yellow ochre instead of that. There you go. All righty. Well, I'm going to get out of here, ASD. Have a good night, bud. Take care. Stay healthy and stay safe, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow night. I'll be interested to see what it comes out like. Have a good night, buddy. Yep, for sure. Yeah. So you should just ask for prime colors. That's all you really needed, prime color, which is the real colors. Okay, we'll see you later, ASD. Have a good one, buddy. I'm not gonna get out of here. I need to get something to drink. I'm dry as a bone. Have a good night, bud.